We got it now. All right. Right now, you're following this police chase on Louisiana as we head into the downtown Houston area. Don't know how long we're going to be able to stay with this. Oh, looks like we're going to stop right now here at this intersection. Let's see what happens.
miles per hour a minute ago, just at 90. So the speed, it is fluctuating and really erratic, going from the left to the right of the road. Incredibly dangerous. And from your experience following these pursuits, how often do officers pull back, use this tactic to say, hey, this is just too dangerous?
They've obviously notified all of the authorities coming in his direction, 5 freeway. I can bring up Sky Map again. And we're coming down into the Silmar area. That's where we had the fire earlier. We're at a really high altitude, but we'll be able to come down pretty soon and get a much better look inside that vehicle. But they do back off, Mark, to answer your question, depending on which authority is in charge and how dangerous they think it is to the public to have a bunch of patrol cars right behind them.
We're coming into really the heart of Los Angeles and going to get more tricky there with the condition of the road, really bumpy through the Burbank area, but also options of which freeway to take next.
Yeah, that option or that choice is going to come up right here, and I think this may be a choice to get on the 405 freeway southbound from the 5, or this could be the Roxford off-ramp. I'm not sure. We'll bring up Sky Map, and that will tell us. Yeah, I believe this is Roxford on the 5 freeway southbound. If I'm not mistaken, there's an off-ramp that will get you to Sepulveda Boulevard. All the authorities in this area will be notified, and if the suspect continues to drive at these rates of speed on these surface streets, boy, this is extremely dangerous. Now on these surface streets, we really look at a situation that could be deadly.
Yeah, and I know, as you mentioned, when we came on here with this breaking coverage, making a turn there onto that side street, looks like it is Cobalt Street?
Yeah, Cobalt. Fortunately now, I mean, you're traveling at 50 miles an hour in a 35 zone, but you can almost live with that. Something tells me this individual is familiar with this area. I'm not certain, but, you know, to travel at that high rate of speed and then to come to this location, now to stop at a stop sign, we're up really high, so the suspect can't tell that we are on top of him. Law enforcement will be watching our picture, and they'll get an idea exactly where they are until they get their air unit over top of the vehicle. Slowed down. We did get a report, Mark. They believe only one male driver inside the vehicle, and it looks like the suspect may have stopped right behind that tree. We'll try and get on the other side, but it makes it extremely challenging for us because we have to stay at that high altitude because of the flight restriction for the fire. They still want us above any activity that they may need to be involved in to put the fire out and get 100% containment. Larkspur Street and Sylmar, and for the moment the suspect is stopped. I don't know if they met someone and then rolled by because the vehicle was covered by that tree, but now they're stopping on the shoulder.
Yeah, I can tell you, Scott, from my vantage point, I did see a couple pedestrians, people who were on the street. Of course, from this high up, we don't know.
The suspect is out.
There he is, trying just to
We'll
walk
be around
away.
this.
We see him.
We'll be around this in a moment. Suspect wearing dark pants. It looks like a red and black jacket. Couldn't really tell much more. A man. There's another individual. That's where the individual originally stopped and was obscured by that tree. Let's see if he comes and talks to these two guys. But if law enforcement rolls up here, then they'll be able to identify these individuals.
Taking off his jacket right now. He had on that red and black jacket. He just took it off. This guy walking around like he hasn't done a thing. Shaking
now
hands.
The white shirt.
These could be his buddies, perhaps strangers. You wonder now when law enforcement is going to arrive.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be long, and we get a better look at the vehicle. And yeah, I think maybe there's a police car right there. That's CHP, I believe. We pan to the right, and we apologize for the tree, but we can't climb, or we're trying to climb, to get to an altitude so we can go north and see what's going on. So I understand frustrating for you, but extremely frustrating for us as well. But I believe the suspect will be taken into custody here in no time, and we'll see if we can't. Oh, there he is. They've told him to get down on the ground. But at this point, it looks like the suspect is complying to his demands.
For those viewers who are just tuning in here for Eyewitness News at 11 a.m., we came on the air roughly 10 minutes early for this very dangerous pursuit. Now, we call it a pursuit because officers, they had pulled back. They decided that it was simply too dangerous. But this guy, he continued at speeds in excess of 130 miles per hour, and just too much on the line for officers to be in pursuit of that type of a driver heading down the 5 freeway from Castaic through Santa Clarita and here into the Sylmar area.
They just don't know if there could be, another suspect in the area with a weapon, and they certainly need to make sure they have several officers here before they go out and approach him. They'll want to try and clear the street just in case there was any type of gunfire in this situation, and I think they're going to want more officers to do that. But it looks like they're going to go ahead, and they're going to go and approach the suspect. They feel comfortable that no one else is in play right now, and it looks like he is complying. The 3 officers with the guns drawn, and it looks like they'll take him into custody here without incident. So we don't know what more than traveling at a high rate of speed, obviously reckless driving, but at 130 miles an hour, I'm certain that the vehicle will be impounded, the license will be lost if there's nothing else the suspect's wanted for.
There it is. Desk on the microwave. We're coming overhead now. Let me know if we're still streaming. I think we might be. Thank you. Oh, right here. Oh, that was so close. Oh my gosh. Okay. Back towards the 5 freeway. Okay, going under the 5. Okay, cool. Let me knock it off. I'll just keep the speedometer and address bar. Great. Desk, we're first on scene again. Okay, he's next to the Burbank Costco right now on Victory. It's a stolen parking enforcement vehicle. Through the red. Now on Buena Vista Street. Oh, coming up to the red. Slowly gonna merge with traffic there. And now wrong side of the road. Now back on the right side of the road. This is Van Owen Street. Okay, the road's a little wet here, so he's gonna have to be extra careful. as he runs through yet another red light. He is going so fast on surface streets. Look at those speeds, over 90 miles an hour.
We don't know all the details, but it's very interesting, to say the least, that this is a police vehicle being pursued. So what we understand is it may be stolen. Now into the parking lot, you can see Burbank Air 1 over the pursuit. Now we're northbound on Lancashire from Van Owen.
Oh, there's a pedestrian. Be careful, please. And there he goes, making a right-hand turn. Now Lancashire and Sherman Way.
If they start to identify possibly a pattern of how this suspect is driving, they can look into doing a spike strip to pop those tires and disable the vehicle that way. Another option is a pivot the wrong way, almost hitting that car going the opposite way. And now we are northbound to Hunga Avenue from Sherman Way, slowing down just a little bit as we come up to this intersection. And now we are eastbound on Satakoy from Tahunga, and it looks like we're going into a parking lot. Let's see what happens here. And into that parking lot, doing that U-turn. We'll see what happens if there's an exit for them. Those Burbank police officers are right behind him. Now we're kind of boxed in here. I'm going to keep just a little bit wider of a shot because we don't know what's going to happen in this situation. Suspect's out, hands up, something in that right hand. They're going to ask him to put that down. And he's not complying. Tasers on that suspect. What they're going to do, tackle that suspect and take him into custody. So all things considered, no one injured in this pursuit by a crash or anything like that. That suspect has been taken into custody here at Satakoy and Tahunga, and successful into this pursuit here in the Burbank area. Micah?
Yeah, Jolene, right now we are just on Britain. We're just west of Broadway Extension, still westbound. As you can see, this car is being pursued by Oklahoma City. There's about 4 police cars behind them. The fastest speed that we've seen so far is about 80 here. So we'll just stay up here and see exactly what happens. Now he's north on Western here. Yeah, I guess we're being told there's one person inside here, Jolene. Yeah, 80 miles an hour here. Now he's obviously in incoming traffic coming through. Hefner coming up on 122nd here, still north on Western. So either, he's going to have to dodge a car here, or hopefully they can get out of his way and he doesn't cause an accident. Now he's going to be east on 122nd from Western, Jolene, back towards Broadway Extension.
We can't tell how many people are in that SUV, is that right?
Yes, say that one more time, Jolene.
We can't tell how many people are inside that vehicle.
No, we've been told that there's just one person inside there is what Steve Johnson told us at the desk here.
Oh,
Air 1 is on scene. You can just see he just hit that power pole.
The driver can't get out. Someone's coming out of the back.
There he goes. Yeah, apparently there's at least one person in there. He just came out of the back.
So officers surrounding that vehicle. One person, okay, looks like they're dragging him out right now. Officers with their guns drawn.
Yeah, he was on his phone.
On his cell phone.
Yeah, he obviously he came out of there with his hands up. And then pulled the second hand down, and he was still talking on his cell phone here. So they're about to get him into custody. Then they'll be able to see if there really is only one person in the car, Jolene.
And it doesn't look like he is helping them out at all. Okay, he's out of the vehicle now,
he's not
on the ground. Chopper 7 over the scene here of a police chase, you see. This started at Selden in Lincoln on the city's west side. We're understanding that shots may have been fired. Now, I am getting word that this is on I-75. If, Barry, you can tell me again, in the general area we're talking here, this is I-75, and we do know that it did start at Selden in Lincoln on the city's west side. We are understanding that shots were fired. It appears the one police officer is coming to the side of his car, it looks like. Again, they're now approaching 14 Mile, and getting off at 14 Mile is what it now looks like, too. So it all began again just a bit ago, we're told, at Selden and Lincoln. That is on the city's west side. Somehow made its way over to I-75. I thought maybe he was pulling over. Well, perhaps he is stopping, coming up, and giving up, or just going over the grass instead. But police will follow him as well. Again, shots were fired here, so this is nothing that the officers want to mess around with. This was, again, 14 Mile that they got off of the highway here. You have to wonder, this is assuming a red light right here because of all the cars that are stopped, making the turnaround. Tough to tell with these police chases, but he is being followed by at least a half dozen cars. Scary stuff here. He's caught in the middle of traffic right here with nowhere to go, and all of those other cars surrounding. We'll stay with this right now just to see how this does resolve. He doesn't want this to be over yet. In the grass, in what appears to be a parking lot now. So I can't be more specific as to what. That may be the police car too, trying to stop him there. Again, we want to stay on top of this for you just to see how this resolves. Not long ago, it started on the city's west side, that we're told. And the big danger here is that shots were fired. Looks like he's giving up. This is the Oakland Mall parking lot. You see the officers there pulling the gentleman out of the car, down on the ground. Thankfully, it looks like the scene is resolving itself here as a number of Detroit police officers are on the scene. They have taken that man out of that truck right there, gotten him to the ground. Didn't seem to put up much of a fight when he got out.
Shooting near Wayne State triggers a dramatic police chase on I-75 across 2 counties.
One person was taken into custody, but the suspected shooter is still out there tonight. Police now need your help finding her.
7 Action News reporter Jane Park joining us live in front of Detroit Police Headquarters with more on this. Jane, we watched it all unfold live on Action News at noon.
It was absolutely wild, and police tell us that teenager who was shot moments before this chase began, is expected to survive. Right now, they're actively searching for that woman who somehow made an escape, even as her accomplice was captured. As soon as it stopped in the parking lot of the Oakland Mall in Troy Friday afternoon, the dramatic end to a 15-mile pursuit that began on Detroit's west side near Wayne State University. But only one of the suspects they were looking for was inside, a 44-year-old Detroit man involved in a shooting just an hour prior. Police say that happened at Lincoln and Selden when the man and another woman in the avalanche approached a 16-year-old boy walking home from the store. The woman got out of the truck and confronted him.
Some words were exchanged. The female pulled out a weapon and ultimately shot our victim.
One young man was screaming, saying, "I just been shot," and he was holding his lower calf, buttocks area.
Steve Skodak, who heard the gunshot, ran out to the scene where he says the woman told witnesses it was the teenager who started it all.
The woman's voice saying, "Call 911, this young man broke into my house."
Police say the teen was able to run home and called 911. Officers in the area located the suspect vehicle, but when they tried to stop it, the driver fled and hit the highway. Officers from several Detroit precincts and neighboring agencies helped corner the driver, who willingly surrendered but was found without his female passenger. Police believe he could have dropped her off before they stopped him.
She is to be considered armed and dangerous at this point. So if you know her or you know of her, where she might be, we're asking that you call 911. She is described as a black female in her 30s, last seen wearing a dark blue jacket and dark colored jeans.
Exactly what led to the confrontation and shooting remains under investigation. Now, police do tell us they are investigating a report filed before this shooting that could corroborate what that woman told witnesses at the scene, that this teenager broke into her house. But right now, she is the main suspect in this shooting, and Detroit police are asking the public for any help in identifying her.